Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next comment or question comes from XP50 Player. And this was in response to lots of thoughts on the Yamaha Montage M mailbag I did in January 2024. And XP50 Player writes, what I really wanted the MODX for was the FM stuff. And it's great for that. And actually you're not the first person who's told me the MODX is great for FM. I'm not seeing anything compelling on the M worth upgrading for. Yes, it has double the sample ROM, double the libraries, more sample storage, a bit higher polyphony, for user samples only, mind that being. There isn't much third-party support for the series, necessitating a bunch of user library space, certainly nowhere near that of the Kronos, and its third-party support. Looks like Yamaha made an effort to approximate a tone wheel engine by implementing the draw-by mode for the sliders and adding a VCM rotary effect from the YC series of keyboards. Looking forward to the VSD version, presumably a Helion-based plugin. Now it's interesting, isn't it, when you sort of see new keyboards. I mean, the first thing I would say is spending the better part of $5,000 and £5,000 if you live in the UK on a keyboard does require a certain amount of rationalisation. I have rationalisation whenever I buy a keyboard, and I have done that for a number of years, as you probably know if you follow the channel, because I just don't go and buy gear. I have to understand where it fits into the collection, what I'm going to do, use it for. Is it a collector's piece? Is it a functional piece? Is it whatever else it's going to be used for? So, you know, that's kind of the way I rationalise things in my own head. But in terms of the plugin, true to their word, Yamaha have launched the Yamaha Montage M VST. They said they would be launching it in January 2024, and it was launched just in January to be there for discussion and display at NAMM. NAMM, sorry, not NAMM. NAMM is stuff you eat when you're Indian. In 2024. So, you know, they have kept true to their word in terms of their release cycle. Now, Yamaha, I understand, have called the new VST the Yamaha Montage M ESP, and if your hardware has enough horsepower, you can launch multiple versions of the Yamaha montages on your computer. So you can actually run multiple montages by being able to launch multiple versions of the VST. I understand that this is the initial release, and they have used the word initial release quite a few times in the press statements that I have seen on the Montage ESP. Now, I'm recording this several months after I wrote this. Okay, so the world has moved on a little bit, but I haven't really seen a huge amount of traction on the ESP in the press, apart from it's launched, it does this stuff, it's your montage, da 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 da. I'm sure there is a number of things out there I just haven't got. They haven't sort of been in my face. I can go searching for them. I'm absolutely sure before everybody jumps on the bandwagon and said, oh, it does this and that and the other. It may well do, but what I'm trying to say is, normally when you get these things, it's in your face, okay? And this hasn't been in your face. Okay, I'll leave it there. Anyway, what do I mean by what do I actually mean by initial release, I suppose, is that the ES, what they're saying, or what they've been saying or alluding to in the press, is the fact that this is not the final product. There is stuff to come. That's probably what I'm trying to say here. But I haven't done enough research to understand what is missing. And I don't own a Montage, and I can tell you now, I am not going to drop £4,000–5,000 on a Montage M. It just is not going to happen. So, you know, where my information is going to come from is people who are going to buy. I do know a couple of people who are either have bought or are buying a Montage M, but I haven't had any feedback from them yet. So, and to be honest, whether you're aware or not, I've been remodeling the house, and that's made my life absolute hell for months, because things like not being able to sleep in my own bed. Anyway, that's a different thing, but it just means it just makes a whole lot of things difficult. And it also makes video and doing this sort of thing difficult, because where I'm sitting now, up until about a week ago, was full of builders rubbish, as in tools and various other bits and bobs that the builders were storing in my workspace because they couldn't store it anywhere else. That's another story. Anyway, the other thing I did pick up is that in order to use the Montage M and the Yamaha Montage M ESP together, you do need to upgrade the firmware of your hardware synth. And bear in mind, this thing's only just been released. Next comment question comes from XP50 Player, and this was in response to ACB on the Roland Fantom EX Basel 40 type. A mailbag I did in February 2024. I can remember the Basel 40 bit. Anyway, XP50 Player writes, I was wrong. Really? Were you? The JD-800 expansion does have both effect blocks, but the second block containing the reverb delay chorus is only available on a single instance of the JD-800. So you could use multiple instances of the JD-800 engine patches, but only the lowest zone number used has the rev chorus delay available. Fantom also has the supernatural pianos, which can be used on any zone, as opposed to the V piano engine, which can only be used on zone 1. So that's what you would layer with an ACB sound. Well, since I don't own a Fantom and I haven't got a Fantom EX, I will take your word for it. But thank you for sharing your findings, XP50.